Hello, everyone. What really happened to Madeleine Stowe is a story far more intricate and emotionally layered than the Hollywood headlines ever revealed, because while most audiences remember her as the breathtakingly talented, almost ethereal actress who dominated the 1990s with unforgettable performances in films like The Last of the Mohicans, 12 Monkeys, Blink, Shortcuts, and later, the hit TV series Revenge, her sudden disappearance from the spotlight wasn't the result of scandal, downfall, or controversy, but rather a deeply personal journey shaped by trauma, love, loss, and a conscious decision to step away from an industry that often demands everything while giving very little in return, especially to actresses who refuse to conform to Hollywood's harsh rules about age, image, and submission. Because Madeleine was never the typical star, she was introspective, introverted, and intensely private, carrying with her a childhood marked by a complicated home life and the heavy emotional responsibility of caring for a mother who suffered from multiple sclerosis, experiences that carved a quiet resilience into her personality long before she ever stood in front of a camera. And as her career skyrocketed, that sense of responsibility grew even stronger when she started her own family, leading her to make the bold choice to walk away from fame at the exact moment the world expected her to take her throne as one of Hollywood's next great leading ladies. But the truth is that Madeleine had reached a point of emotional burnout after years of non-stop work, red carpets, press tours, and the constant pressure of being on. And when she realized that the industry she had given her youth to was beginning to shift, rewarding spectacle over substance, prioritizing franchises over character-driven work, and narrowing opportunities for actresses over 40, she quietly retreated to a ranch outside of Austin, Texas, where she devoted herself to raising her daughter, reconnecting with nature, and healing from the emotional scars that came from decades of public scrutiny and private struggle. And while her fans were puzzled by her absence, Madeleine was living through something few knew at the time: the devastating grief of losing her beloved husband, actor Brian Benben, and the reality of navigating life after such profound loss, all while processing earlier traumas she had long kept hidden, including a home invasion years prior that left her shaken and changed, a moment she later described as terrifying and transformative, pushing her even further toward a life of seclusion and self-protection. Eventually, when she finally resurfaced for Revenge, audiences were stunned, not because she had aged, but because she still possessed the same magnetic presence and razor-sharp intensity that defined her entire career, proving she had never lost her talent, only redirected her priorities. And even though the success of the show could have reignited a full Hollywood comeback, Madeleine once again chose to return to her quiet, private life the moment the series ended, making it clear that she no longer needed the validation of fame and would only participate in projects that aligned with her spirit rather than Hollywood's expectations. And today, what really happened to Madeleine Stowe is a story of a woman who survived a childhood of emotional responsibility, a career of relentless expectation, a traumatic encounter that changed her worldview, and a devastating personal loss that reshaped her entire life, ultimately choosing peace, family, and emotional safety over the spotlight, transforming her journey into a rare Hollywood tale where the happiest ending wasn't the one written by studios or critics, but the one she wrote for herself. A quiet life lived on her own terms, far from the cameras that once defined her, yet still cherished by fans who continue to wonder where she went and admire the strength it took for her to walk away. Madeleine Stowe is an American actress. She appeared mostly on television before her role in the 1987 crime comedy film Stakeout. She went on to star in the films Revenge, Unlawful Entry, The Last of the Mohicans, Blink, 12 Monkeys, The General's Daughter, and We Were Soldiers. Thanks for watching.